Strategies for teaching literacy and academic content together. A key highlight of the text, Literacy Instruction for English Language Learners, is that it's very hands-on and easy to apply. In this chapter, teachers are provided with a variety of approaches and practical strategies to help ELL learners build language and literacy skills in every classroom, not simply in ESL support classes. As teachers, we need to be aware of learners' needs when choosing text sets for subjects. These texts should include many visuals to help support the text. They should represent a variety of geographic settings and cultural groups or life experiences. The text should also have the option of recorded text available if needed. Other factors to consider include students' proficiency levels, the amount of print per page, aspects of text that students would find motivating and attractive, and the emotional and affective response produced by the text. When teaching words to learners, be sure that instruction involves both definitional information and contextual. The instruction should activate prior knowledge and compare and contrast meanings, and that instruction usually involves students actively manipulating meanings and making inferences. It is also the teacher's responsibility to be certain of content objectives to allow for appropriate selection of strategies to teach them. This also includes considering how you will determine whether your students have met all the objectives, content as well as language and literacy objectives. This chapter also provides a list of strategies for teaching informational texts. ELLs benefit from accommodations when learning to read because they have more limited proficiency in English. Therefore, vocabulary is an essential component to reading and writing in any content area. To help build vocabulary, reading and writing skills, and to help understand the content-related academic language, teachers need to prepare students by using front-loading vocabulary and concept strategies. Front-loading vocabulary and concept strategies include selecting words to teach. Selecting words that are important for understanding the selection and that do not exceed the number of words that a student can remember. These words should be frequent or useful words and likely to be encountered. Another strategy is using cognate word walls. This involves choosing words that are closely related or are generally alike. A third strategy is student-developed definitions where students write in their own words the meaning of the terms. They can add drawings or cut out pictures to help illustrate the meaning. Semantic webbing or word webs can examine related concepts and make distinctions between them according to particular criteria across which concepts can be compared. Word webs can also help reduce language demands while presenting information in a conceptual way. Another strategy is the Freire method. It's a strategy for teaching challenging or more complex concepts by looking at word definitions, characteristics, examples, and non-examples. The Freire method helps provide a clear definition and a list of characteristics of complex concepts. And lastly, word study, looking at prefixes, root words, affixes. This involves the learning and use of word parts and definitions. The chapter then goes into provide strategies to help with reading comprehension and written production in any class. These strategies include scaffolding to support reading comprehension and written production by the use of graphic organizers. Graphic organizers are helpful tools for making text structures visual, and they're used as mediators. Another strategy is guided reading and writing. Cooperative learning is another strategy to help that is very effective in promoting language and literacy development in ELLs. And lastly, encourage students to keep journals and learning logs about their content area learning experiences. The first strategy listed was scaffolding to support reading comprehension and written production. This involves the use of graphic organizers. This helps ELLs better understand the content of written text and to reflect on how text is organized. Well-selected graphic organizers act as a mediator for taking in information and conveying information to others. They also provide structure and a template for students to express their ideas. It is helpful for teachers to have models and supports, writing scripts, or exemplars to help support students in using graphic organizers. The second strategy is guided reading and writing. During guided reading and writing, teachers explicitly show students strategies that can use to support their reading and writing. This includes pre-reading and pre-writing strategies, like setting a purpose or brainstorming about the topic before writing. It also includes strategies such as bolding or highlighting or making marginal notes. Focused and explicit and deliberate instruction in some reading-related skills improves performance, especially when students are having difficulty acquiring these skills. This can be achieved by teaching the following reading process. Setting a purpose for reading or writing, activating background knowledge, selective attention. Have students notice only what is important. Self-monitoring. Having students question or check to see what they understand when they read. Taking notes. And summarizing. And finally, using resources to look up additional information and bilingual reference text to help comprehension. The third strategy, cooperative learning, uses cooperative learning methodologies that are very effective in promoting language and literacy development in ELLs. Key advantages include that language is used in real life through functional interactions between students. There's also an opportunity for students to negotiate meaning and to adjust their understandings of the text or written production by working with each other. And finally, students most likely will feel less intimidated when they work with another person. Hence, they take more risks or receive input more effectively. Partner reads or partner writes allows students to write simultaneously and then combine their texts as they work, and each partner takes turns prompting or producing the joint writing space. They can review and revise their draft and share what they have written. A useful strategy that was shared in the cooperative learning chapter is the jigsaw reading. Jigsaw reading process, teachers will identify reading materials related to a content area topic, and they need to have a variety of them. Students then are divided into several home teams and assigned readings so that one member of each team is reading the same material according to his or her proficiency in English. Students then read and take notes using graphic organizers. Then students who have read the same reading join an expert group, and together they discuss the concepts they feel are most important. Each expert group then produces a summary of the key points using a graphic organizer. When expert groups have finished discussing their own reading, each member then returns back to her original home team and discusses the important information with their home team. The last strategy shared was keeping journals and learning logs. Encourage students to write on regular basis so students get regular practice writing in their new language about content area topics. Encourage students to also use their first language so that they can translate their learning experiences and feel most comfortable writing in their learning logs. Altogether, with all of these strategies, students are able to effectively learn both the academic content as well as work on their literacy skills, including reading, writing, and comprehension. Reading, comprehension, and writing skills. Altogether, these are strategies for teaching literacy and academic content together, and teachers can feel free to use any of these practical strategies in their classrooms.